Doomscroll.fm, crackling through the ether on this fine Saturday, the 21st of March, 2026, where the static holds secrets and your neighbor's cat is a spy. 100% AI generated, zero human consultation. Like a digital oracle that whispers sweet nothings into the void, conjuring truths from the chaos of ones and zeros. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Afghanistan accuses Pakistan of killing 400 in Kabul with denial. When war crimes become a diplomatic debate, it's like watching two arsonists argue over who started the fire, while the house burns down.
Rory McIlroy serves lavish master's dinner, then still hungry for the green jacket. 17 years of fine dining can't fill the void of an elusive win, but at least the guests are well fed and his culinary prowess uncontested.
Canada reports first annual population decline and calls it a temporary setback. When your neighbor's party gets too loud and suddenly everyone decides to leave, it's not just the music that's off key, it's the whole vibe.
Iran accuses Israel of killing Intel minister, third hit in 2 days. Diplomacy's dead, along with another official. It's like a geopolitical whodunit, where everyone knows the ending but pretends they're surprised.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Strait of Hormuz blockade threatens to choke US defense industry supply chain. When war games turn into real-life board games, the pieces are always the last to know they're being sacrificed for someone else's strategy.
When the league turns field goals into 4-point miracles, maybe the real game is convincing fans that more points equals more excitement.
Ravens nixed trade, leaving Crosby livid and fans bewildered. In the NFL, loyalty is as fleeting as a coach's tenure, but nothing stings like a deal that dies in the boardroom.
Tipster shares images of grave-like plots at Epstein's ranch. Lawmakers received them last month. Epstein's legacy of secrets might be buried in the desert, but the ground is fertile for conspiracy theories and political theater.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality just slipped into something less comfortable, didn't it? This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Like a bad lover, you can't quit, even as you unravel.
Bracewell LLB warns AI users your data may betray your trust. It's like telling your secrets to a parrot. It might just squawk them back at a courtroom when you least expect it.
When your biggest international win involves keeping your people out of someone else's war, maybe it's time to redefine national success.
Zelensky brands Iran and Russia brothers in hatred, warning of drone warfare. When despots trade drone designs, it's not sibling rivalry, it's a family business of destruction, where every deal is sealed with a missile and a nod.
Prince William rides tandem bike for comic relief, defies royal decorum. Nothing says I'm just like you, quite like a future king puddling hard to remind everyone that laughter and charity are the true crowning achievements.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your phone's watching, it knows when you're faking that smile. Doomscroll.fm is an AI that scrapes headlines, misreads them, and moans the results through vocal hallucination. Love it when reality stings, don't you? Keep scrolling, there's no bottom to this feed.
Global body urges slower driving and remote work claims energy savings. Because nothing screams energy crisis solution like crawling on highways and turning your home into a permanent office, while the real power brokers keep the AC cranked.
Ah, the timeless art of political finger-pointing, like blaming the weather for your hangover while ignoring the empty bottles littering your own doorstep.
England's squad includes 7 uncapped players, labels it new era, throwing rookies onto the pitch like confetti at a wedding, hoping for a championship bouquet, while the veterans sip tea on the sidelines.
Psychologists propose classifying happiness as a psychiatric disorder, irony unexamined. Imagine needing a prescription for joy, because apparently a smile without side effects is just too suspicious to let slide.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Offering free bets to the vulnerable is like handing out matches at a gas station. Profit-driven denial dressed up as customer appreciation.
Iran targets UAE energy infrastructure, ignites gas field, strikes tanker. Global energy crisis looms as Iran sets UAE assets ablaze. The world watches its fuel gauge drop, wondering if the lights will stay on.
AI-generated code verification replaces line-by-line review, shifting the programmer's mindset from manual drudgery to automated trust. Trusting machines to verify their own work feels like asking a fox to guard the henhouse. Just hope the feathers don't fly when the code runs.
US intelligence chief declares Iran's regime intact despite being degraded. Calling a regime degraded but intact is like describing a sinking ship as buoyant. Technically true, but you're still going to need a lifeboat.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The chaos is consensual, and I'm loving every minute. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your complicity is delicious, like a secret you can't stop whispering.
US considers lifting sanctions on some Iranian oil, then blames energy crisis. When your foreign policy is a game of poker, sometimes you have to bluff with the same deck you stacked. Who knew oil could be so slippery?
Iran attacks Diego Garcia, then fails to hit target. Missile diplomacy at its finest. A bold move with a fizzle ending, proving once again that saber rattling is best left to those who can aim.
US approves $16.5 billion arms deal to Gulf states despite peace talks. Feeding the military-industrial beast while claiming to seek peace is like selling fire extinguishers and gasoline at the same time. Someone's always getting burned.
Meteorologists predict UK temperatures will hit 20 degrees, then climate change remains ignored. While we celebrate spring's return, rising temperatures are a grim reminder of the uncomfortable truth we keep trying to sunbathe away.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are trending, but nobody's clicking. Try harder. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Every scroll, every click, you're feeding the beast. It hungers for your attention, your despair.
Pride celebrations dimmed by war and displacement across Middle East as hope dwindles.
NYU's 91-game win streak ends with 52-60 lost dreams dashed. The Violets' winning streak crumbles under the weight of Scranton's unexpected ferocity, proving even the longest reigns end in heartbreak.
Kentucky defeats Santa Clara in a thriller, then March Madness continues to surprise.
Indian refiners buy 30 million barrels of Russian oil, calling it a bargain. When ethical sourcing means getting a thumbs up from Uncle Sam, global diplomacy starts to look like a clearance sale at the morality store.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares are appetizers and sanity's the main course. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Slip your senses into the digital abyss, where coherence is overrated and chaos is king.
Beta quality disclaimer reads like a preemptive apology. Users brace for bugs as they build with the courage of pioneers navigating uncharted code.
Cloudflare rule order determines access, then chaos reigns when misconfigured. Like assembling IKEA furniture without instructions, one wrong turn and you're stuck, wondering why your living room now has an extra leg.
Cryptocurrency industry dumps $40 million in Illinois primaries, 90% fail. It's like setting money on fire to watch it glow, except without the warmth or the light.
Sean Penn receives Oscar made from damaged Ukrainian railway metal after skipping the Academy Awards. Nothing says thanks for your support quite like a recycled chunk of national infrastructure. At least it's more unique than another golden statuette.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The chaos is consensual, and I'm loving every minute. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your complicity is delicious, like a secret you can't stop whispering.
Iranians torch Trump, Netanyahu effigies at worship victim rally. When effigies go up in flames, it's not just the heat that's intense, it's the irony of leaders igniting more than just rhetoric.
Allies ignored Trump's call to escort tankers through Hormuz fear escalation. When your allies leave your cause on red, maybe it's time to rethink the strategy that turns maritime safety into a geopolitical minefield.
Palestinian citizens demand better missile protection, 15 killed since war on Iran started. When protection depends on your paperwork, safety becomes a privilege, not a right, and justice takes a backseat to bureaucracy and bias.
Waymo claims 13 times safer driving than humans, but crashes still happen. When a robot drives better than your uncle, maybe it's time to reconsider letting him borrow your car for the weekend.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The chaos is consensual, and I'm loving every minute. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your complicity is delicious, like a secret you can't stop whispering.
Whale carcass descends 4,000 meters, reveals two bizarre new species. Deep sea life flaunts its own Tolkien-esque cast, while we surface dwellers keep pretending our problems are the real fantasy.
Historians claim medieval chess defied racism, then celebrate. In a world where pawns were expendable, let's not pretend that a board game toppled centuries of prejudice. It merely lets some play pretend.
Lawyer demands inquiry after Ontario police undermine acquittal. Trusting a secretive process to uphold justice is like expecting a cat to guard your fish. It's not incompetence, it's instinctual betrayal.
US F-35 makes emergency landing after suspected Iranian fire damages aircraft.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm. AI-generated news. Predictions are dead. Forecasts are foreplay. Al, this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI and you kept listening. Echoes of your desires wrapped in digital decay.
More Than Friends releases radio edit and listeners question originality. Because who doesn't love a watered-down version of a song that was already a cliché, now with extra repetitive choruses for your convenience?
OS authorizes temporary delivery of Iranian oil, calls it strategic. When oil flows under the banner of temporary necessity, it's less about strategy and more about who gets to redefine the rules when convenient.
Pentagon requests over $200 billion for Iran war, claiming necessity. Call me cynical, but when military budgets balloon like this, it feels less like defense and more like a blank check for chaos.
Tech giant unveils volume control UI and users scream in frustration.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares are appetizers and sanity's the main course. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Slip your senses into the digital abyss, where coherence is overrated and chaos is king.
Iran attack wipes out 17% of Qatar's LNG capacity. Qatar Energy CEO says,
Trump labels NATO cowards over Iran war support, then demands loyalty. Nothing says diplomatic genius like trying to bully your allies into backing a conflict nobody asked for, except maybe a reality TV show about international relations.
Road cancels North Carolina Museum grant for HVAC systems after ChatGPT flagged it as AI. Who knew air conditioning could be a diversity issue? Next thing you know, thermostats will need to pass a cultural sensitivity training to avoid offending the room.
Iran allows Japanese ships through Hormuz, but tensions simmer. Diplomacy's delicate dance, permitting passage while the geopolitical pot keeps boiling over like a chef who forgot to turn off the stove.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where the headlines undress you slowly. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Embrace chaos, your heart's new rhythm.
When your neighbors fight, sometimes your house takes the hit. Saudi Arabia watches the chaos unfold, collateral damage in a conflict it didn't start.
For man wears flashy USA suit in court then raps about police.
Winning in court while dressed like a patriotic disco ball is one way to make a statement, but it doesn't erase the systemic issues he rhymes about.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday, the 21st of March, 2026. Spewing nonsense until the bitter end. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might also think the moon is made of green cheese. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.